It is raining and it's beautiful and I love it. Welcome to Daily Devotionals. My name is Red Moon Eagle and you are watching Daily Devotionals with Red Moon Eagle. And sometimes Astra joins me. She is our beautiful animal companion and we've determined she's probably a natural number 4. Yay. We're in Beltane season, and I did not do a Beltane daily devotional, and I don't know how I feel about that. I think I just got busy. Last week was crazy, and this week looks to be crazy too. Okay, so we're gonna get started. The self-care book. And 23, which is I show unconditional love and receive it in return. Peaceful relations. Peaceful relations with your family, whether biological, adoptive, or chosen, are incredibly important. Family can offer a sense of unconditional love and be there for you in times of need. The journal prompt: what problem areas, if any, remain unresolved in your family? How do you think resolving and understanding issues will impact your life? We're going to talk more about that one in a minute. Egyptian gods. I picked the first one, which is Ra. Ra. The first sun god, he who rises up, climbing high in the sky, life and prosperity from the sun and its heat. The symbol is the eye of Ra, also associated with the meaning of the third eye. The energy of Ra is vital, the source of creative growth. This deity instills clarity and transparency. There is nothing to fear under the influence of Ra. He helps you to heal wounds and restore lost harmony, but with action. Above all, he advises you to abandon the subterfuges of the moon and to act boldly in the light of full day. Isn't that wonderful? Okay. In our Animal Spirit Guidebook, it's the elk today. Stable, resilient, headstrong, the father. The great elk represents the earth element in its masculine form. This means it provides underlying support and stability amidst life's many changes. An elk personality, male or female, is fully established in themselves and knows their core values. They become known and respected for acting in ways that uphold those values. Sometimes the elk's ego can become inflated, but for the most part, they make good fathers, mothers, lovers, and friends. The world needs more elk. When in balance, supportive, kind, and consistent. When out of balance, pretentious, high, and mighty. To bring into balance, eat, drink more consciously. Beautiful, huh? Okay, Mystical Shaman Oracle. Usually the card that pulls it all together. The giveaway. The giveaway is the gift you offer to life, without attachment, without expecting anything back. You can only give what is truly yours: a smile, a nod of encouragement, a gentle touch, a kind word. This is not giving to others what you no longer want, like a sweater you don't want that doesn't fit, gifting that which is most precious, your authentic love and genuine feelings. The invitation of this card is to make a list of 10 things or people which you are grateful for. Connect with the feelings of gratitude. Giveaway comes to ask you to feel the same gratitude without needing anything or anyone to inspire it, and to share this gratitude with those you meet. As you offer thanks, your heart opens and you start realizing how much life has given you. You heal your feelings of scarcity and open yourself to abundance that surrounds you. The giveaway invites you to be in the flow of life as you give freely and receive freely. It's difficult for you to set limits on how much of yourself you give. If you give more than is healthy, then you will not be able to give for long. You'll feel resentful to your partner, your associates, your friends, and you'll feel like the world owes you something in return. Notice if you give for any reason other than pure generosity. Are you trying to be liked and accepted? Are you hoping to heal an old wound? Start giving to yourself first and foremost. Offer yourself the care, love, and time and acceptance that you are longing for. Once you experience plenty, you can then truly give to others. Wow, there's so much this week. Okay, or today. So, I kind of want to go back and I want to start with my Celtic book, which I default to all the time. The summer quarter of Beltane brings the gift of increased confidence and is a time of growth and greater sociability as the weather grows fine and hot. It is traditionally the time for celebrating the essential eros of the year, the vitality of summer and the joys of youth. In the human growth cycle, it corresponds to the period of young adult, when the blood is hot, when ideas are sometimes impetuous and ambitious, pursued with vigor and ardor. Beltane is a good time to celebrate the lives of all heroes and heroines and protectors of the land, all who are involved in innovative and resourceful means of help, all holy ones whose great love complements their spiritual practice with human grace. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, so the first two cards in this one, it's family. I share unconditional love and receive it in return. I remember in my late teens, early 20s, I had read something. I don't remember what it was, but it was about unconditional love, and I was very confused. The definition of unconditional love was something that I did not receive in my home from one of my parents. And there seemed to be, at every turn, me disappointing the other parent. And unconditional love seemed to have a punishment involved. And I did not understand this, not based on the definition. And as I went through my own shadow and light journey in my life and the experiences that I went through, I learned that your birth family isn't always your family, no matter how much you want it to be. And I guess that I knew that, and yet I really wanted it to work. And when it didn't, I was devastated, absolutely devastated. And I didn't know how to fix it. And it took me a long time to realize it's not my responsibility to fix it. You can choose your family, and you can lean into your blueprint, and you can lean into the people that make family, that accept your unconditional love and give unconditional love. And one of those things that makes unconditional love is that there's a place and Ra tells us about it. Ra says, this deity instills clarity and transparency. There is nothing to fear under the influence of the sun. He who rises up climbing high in the sky. The third eye. Vital creative growth. When you are growing, when you're learning about unconditional love, when you're learning about how to build family, and what that village is that everybody talks about, there's a multiplicity of representations of that. And in the Animal Spirit Guidebook, elk, the earth element, providing underlying support and stability. They represent the respect for acting in ways that uphold their values. And when in balance, they're supportive, kind, and consistent. And they are the good fathers, mothers, brothers, sisters, the community. And learning to find community that accepts the multiplicity of who you are as you grow. Because we don't stay the same. When we stagnate and we remain the same, we stay in a loop. And that loop is usually fundamentally the fear trap. Now there's other emotions that can manifest as, but that's really what it is. And there is this journey when I personally had to make some decisions. I had to say that these amazing experiences that I've had with women who have nurtured me that were not my biological mother, and these community members that I have encountered that have been supportive and loving and have reinforced my journey and held me accountable for my actions and held me accountable for even when it was unkind or confusing or hurtful. They really did try to reflect back as best they could something that would help me, because they saw that I was struggling, or that I didn't understand, or that my behavior or my actions, oh, do you want me to throw this for you, Esther? She brought me a ball. Were not in alignment with who I wanted to be, who I said I wanted to be, who they thought I could be, in the sense that their unconditional love was there, and I was struggling with my unconditional love of myself in this form, in this world, in this life. And that brings me to the giveaway. The giveaway is not about stuff, okay? And that's, I think, the fundamental key here. Unconditional love isn't about, did you get treated well? Somebody hurt your feelings? Did somebody hit you? Did somebody steal from you? Did somebody behave badly in general, right? The giveaway is really a good representation of looking at what you give yourself, how you love yourself, how you honor yourself, in whoever you as the entity living in a human meat suit. Do you love yourself? Do you like yourself? Do you like your behaviors? Do you not like your behaviors? Are there things that you do that you want to do better? You give to yourself, and also you give to others. You know, there's a lot of philosophies out there about, you know, when somebody comes into your life and they behave from a place of anger, and you get really angry and defensive about it. There's a philosophy that says, well, that must mean that's something you need to work on. And there is a piece of truth in that. If you're getting all butthurt and angry because somebody has behaved badly to you, it could be a reflection on you, 100%. Which is why if I ever say something, it's because I've reflected on it. Or because somebody's taught me. Somebody took the time to teach me, hey, Red, you're saying things that aren't kind. And me going, I don't understand. I didn't think I was being unkind. And then sitting with it, owning it, and going, I did say that. This is what I thought I meant. Trying to create discourse with what does that mean? And how could that be misconstrued? And for years and years and years, it's your tone of voice. And I'm like, I don't get that. My tone of voice is my tone of voice. And they were like, well, it wasn't kind. And I'm like, How is a tone of voice kind or not kind? For years, I did not really understand. I got told all the time that it was the tone. And I'm like, I don't understand. I just said it. And for me, the journey has also been like, I have officially been diagnosed with autism and ADHD over the last couple of years. And one of the things I realized only recently, actually, it's kind of funny, like my mother, my bio mom, she would say things to me and I go, why does that hurt? And I realized it was her tone. And I was mimicking her reactions with my tone. And it took me a really, really long time to learn how to modulate how I said things to people. Not because I really understand the words tone, but because I knew there was some kind of delivery or modulation system. So if I encountered somebody that I really respected, I would mimic their tone, right? And try it out and practice it. Not because I was trying to copy, but I was trying to copy. I was trying to copy to try to figure out, how do I do this differently so that I'm not received with this rejection, this anger, this resentment, the intention, my voice, how I delivered would match my intention, right? And in the giveaway card, I am reminded that you give to yourself first. I gave to myself grace. I gave to myself compassion. I gave to myself permission to fail. I gave myself permission to not understand. I gave myself permission to grow. I gave myself permission to learn, to ask questions, to be in this world authentically. Authentically confused, authentically not getting it, authentically smart when I'm smart and dumb when I'm dumb. Authentically give my love, care, and affection to the people around me. And thus, they gave back. And sometimes they gave back all of their trauma. Okay. And in that, they gave me some amazing learning opportunities. And those learning opportunities have given me the ability to stand as authentically as I can and respond as authentically as I can, and also know that if I do respond with something, if you ever get a response from me that hurts, that feels like it's a little harsh, it's because I have literally tried everything I possibly can to give you with compassion, softness, gentleness, and truth, and authenticity, with all those different tones, all those different tonal values, all those different delivery systems I've practiced and learned from all the people around me my whole life. I've tried pushing back, like, I don't think that's nice. Or I've tried, well, have you thought about this? And where does that come from? And why do you say that? And I've tried using tools like, sounds like you might be a little tired, why don't we postpone a meeting? Or would you like some water? Are you hungry? Or are you thirsty? Are you a little dehydrated? Or, you seem a little bit anxious, like, would you like to talk about it? Like giving people all the space in the world to be them and also grow. And that could be my teacher theme coming in. I don't ever truly become completely unentwined from it. But family to me is support for your journey, unconditional love, and also accepting that we teach each other. Even if you don't have a teacher life theme, we teach each other. And the giveaway card to me is the culmination of earthly connecting into the body, embracing the gifts that you have, embracing your experience in this earth, and allowing yourself to share that experience. That also comes from the neurodiversity, the neurospicy part, which is to relate to you. I want to share a similar story to help you know that I've been there, something similar. Our experiences are different, but I think that I understand. And my father had amazing stories. He always had a lesson story, and Grandma had lesson stories. And many people I've encountered in life have shared with me their stories of life. And they're giving you freely their experience. And their experience is through love and compassion and camaraderie and community. And a community that does not hold each other up and accountable to the values and morals and ethics and holds you accountable to the integrity of who you are isn't a community. And something that I feel like it's become this mantra, or this, I sound like a repeating record, or I probably sound a little obsessed, probably. But community isn't about one person being the leader of a community. A community is where everyone has equal voice and everyone has equitable participation in that community, however they want to be a part of it. You don't commit to a community. You commit to your inner voice, the authentic piece of who you are. You commit to who and what you bring to the community. That's your commitment. Because when you commit to that, you have the capacity to give away your beauty and your potentiality into the world and contribute to a collective community, a co-creative space. And today's cards just reinforce that. I've been very lucky that in my life I've belonged to several communities that in different ways were trying to figure out how to do that. And that's why I was part of them. And not every time, but there have been some community things that I've been involved with where unfortunately someone's shadow, someone's drama, someone did not understand what accountability and commitment to community means, and it became about them. The community holding them accountable for their behavior and their growth and their authentic self became us against them. And anytime that I have stood in that space and held it, I have been targeted. And that hurts so bad. Because unconditional love means that I give away knowing. I give away I give away through unconditional love. I use the unconditional love that I have for you as a spiritual entity living in a human meat experience. I give away through true sacrifice the knowledge that my holding you accountable holds me accountable for my journey. And if I ever have to get to the place where it sounds harsh, it's because it isn't me that's been hurt over and over and over again. I may have been hurt over and over and over again. But it's by the time I've said something, it's not about me. By the time I've said something, it's because you've hurt many of the community. Whatever your definition, whoever those people are, wherever that space is. Because I will try anything and everything in my power to give through unconditional love in all of the different tones and values and stories and opportunities, to honor you and support you in your authentic journey, your integral, your journey through of integrity, authenticity, through showing up, even no matter how messy it is, through all of your fears, through all of the stagnant energy, through all of the scattered stuff that's going around, through all of the shame, all of the frozen existential dread, through all of the, it doesn't match the patterning. I will help you. I will stand by you through that every single time, as long as you're moving. If you're moving forward, I will use all the tools in my toolbox to stand with you, to love you. And even if it comes to that place where you're not moving and you're not being as genuine to yourself, if you're not working on yourself, if you're not being authentic in your journey and how you participate with the people around you, if it becomes you want power instead of belonging, if I have to say something, it's because I've done everything else. Because I want you to love yourself unconditionally. And I want you to be in that place where you can give unconditionally. And we all deserve that. And I'm not the only one that does this. I've watched some amazing people in my life do this. And they seem to put up with the shit over and over and over and over again. And then at some point, someone that they have tried over and over and over again to help stops working on themselves. And that's usually when the people around them start going, here's the line. And it's not a line of, a community doesn't help each other if they don't hold each other accountable for their own journey. That's what good communities do. Good communities say, do your thing, just be accountable for what your thing is. And I will be accountable for me and you be accountable for you, and we will lean on each other and help each other be accountable and love each other unconditionally. I have people that I have known in my past that have helped me, that have taught me something amazing. And there are a few people that every time I think about them, I'm so a combination of extremely happy and joyful and full of love for what they gave to me in their journey that they didn't even know they gave. It wasn't a thing. It was their love, and it hurt. And they're no longer in my life, and I miss them. And yet, for each of us to live authentically in our lives, to live that shadow light journey, to live within the medicine wheel. They got stuck, or I got stuck, or, well, it seems to be that we had different stucknesses in some of them. And they're not in my life and I'm not in theirs. Does that mean I don't love them? Nope. If anything, can you tell from the tears? I still love them. And I love them with such ferocity today as I loved them then. It's called unconditional for a reason. Love is love. The real bliss, that real place of peace, that self-love, that love of universe, that connection to the divine. We use the word unconditional love because we're so afraid that love in our modern world has a I will love you if. I love you because you're my daughter or son. I love you if you treat me nicely. I love you when you do this thing. I love you where you do this. If you notice, it's always if, and, or, when, but you. That's why in our Western world we have these words like unconditional love. Because in my paradigm, in my existence, and how I look at the world, when you say you love somebody, the unconditional doesn't need to be there because love is love. It is bliss. It is this joyful place that you come from, that you are. You as an entity are love. You are vibrationally perfect. There's nothing wrong with you. And when we come into this 3D existence, stuff gets in the way. We have these heavy experiences. They're full of all of this other stuff. And there is such joy and bliss in love that when I give away of myself, when I give authentically, with integrity, without fear, without disappointment, without shame, with understanding of all the connections of where we are and how we're connected, when I give away of self, the only thing I expect from you is that you live your life and you interact in this world with an abundance of leaning into the possibilities of what love is and living your journey however you see fit. I will honor that. If you choose to not grow, if you choose not to, if you say you're going to do one thing and you do something else, that's okay. Just be honest with me. And be honest with yourself that that's what you're doing. If you're not going to hold yourself accountable for what you say you want, that's okay. But don't tell me you're going to do one thing and then you don't. Because eventually, my gift to you is going to be, well, you've told me over and over and over again that this is what you want. And I'm going to give it. And I give it freely and I give it from love. If you don't want to, if you don't want to live your life that way, that's okay. That's your choice. I will never not love you for changing your mind. I will never not love you for sticking your head in the sand. My partner, my beautiful husband, whom I love so much, often sticks his head in the sand. And you know what? I still love him. And it's okay. That's his choice. He's honest about it. He's authentic about it. He holds to the same behaviors. And if something new comes into his world, he says, wow, I want to talk about this thing. Or, do you know what I found out? Right? And it's like, yay, there's a new opportunity. So today's daily devotional is really about a combination of family doesn't have to be your birth family. We all have this beautiful sun that shines on us and gives us the example of holding light in the darkness and being okay with the journey of shadow and light. The elk, which is gritty and authentic and real and embodies every mother, brother, sister, friend, community member you ever have. And this, to pull elk into balance, is food. And food in the medicine wheel is community. Food is the element of community. It is bringing together and honoring each other for all of your unique capabilities. In the Body of Nine language, it's what natural number are you? What is your natural place? And what is your natural contribution to the world and to your community? And how do you hold that? And the giveaway is giving it away. Giving it away. But giving it to yourself first. If you're afraid that somebody's not going to love you, you do not love yourself. There's something in yourself you don't love. A behavior, a part of yourself. You have not embraced it. And you have not done the work to understand that that fear, on the other flip of that fear of not being loved, is you have not given love to yourself. That doesn't mean ego. That doesn't mean I'm going to go get my hair done and get my nails done and do all this other stuff. It's you have not looked into the darkest, deepest parts of your soul and said, you know, that's pretty awful, and I love you anyway. And that healing is uncomfortable, it is messy, and it's beautiful. And that's why we have community, because community holds us accountable for our journey. And community pushes back and says, no, you have not done your work. And in a community who's all working on their natural number, authentic self and contribution to that community does it with as much love and as much compassion. And yet, when they need to be firm, they do that. It takes a village to raise a child. If a 7-year-old kid goes around bullying all of the other kids in the community and nobody holds him accountable for that behavior, he becomes a bully for life and perpetuates that on his children and his family. And it's sickness. In many indigenous communities, mental health is sickness. And it's something potentially that can be healed. It's not to be punished and shoved in a black box and isolated away from people. And mental illness comes in many forms. When indigenous communities encountered colonial people, that they said one thing and then they did something else, and they did ceremony. They did healing ceremony to say, we ask Great Spirit and Mother Earth to help heal the mental sickness, their irrational ability to know the difference between what actually happened in that treaty versus what was real. The giveaway card is you can only give. You can give from unhealed space, true. But when you give from healed space, you heal each other and you support each other in all the different manifestations that we have. It's a beautiful place to be. Wow, I've talked for 40 minutes. That is much longer than I thought I was going to. So I love you all unconditionally. To go over that again. And Astra here says hello. She's purring on my lap going grrr. We have this capacity within us, we all do, to bring our authentic self forward. And when we love and we give and we do the work for ourselves, we have the capacity to hold the people around us with that same capacity. And the more capacity you work on yourself, the more you have the capacity to help others. And I promise you, from the bottom of my heart and soul, that I would never hurt to hurt. But I will hurt if my giving holds you accountable. And it always comes from love. Every time. But if you tell me you want one thing and you do something that hurts others, I will do everything in my power to be as gentle as possible over and over and over again. But I will ramp it up. Because that is what honors me to honor you. I have to honor me to honor you. And to honor you, I have to honor me. And that is what community is. We honor each other by honoring ourselves and who we are. And yes, 100%, I've been there. I've hurt from pain. I've hurt others not understanding, and through trauma and through trying to figure it out and trying to human it, and from places of unknowing hurt. And I have been so blessed to have people come into my life to say, hey, Red, that was awful, or that was hurtful, or okay, you've gone too far. And thank the gods, and thank the universal deity of connection, and thank all of the ancestors that are living in my body and all of the descendants that are in my future, that I have had amazing community. No matter if they're with me now or not, I still love them and I still thank them. Because they have taught me how to heal, to have this capacity. This journey has not been easy. And I get teased fairly frequently when I meet new people. They're like, you've lived like 4 or 5 lives in not very long amount of time, or you can't be that old. And that makes me laugh, because there's a fear, there's a judgment there in that statement. There's a disbelief. And that's okay too. I laugh. I just kind of giggle and I move on. I'm like, yeah, well. And anybody who's known me has watched me do it. I go, yeah, you know. And I probably do sound dismissive. And that's okay too. But I'm not going to judge you for living in the same town your entire life, going to high school, not going to college, getting married, having 2.5 children, living in your square box, and going through an absolute complete fuckery of a divorce, or whatever it is that comes into your life that goes, whoa, here's all my journey. That's okay. Everyone I meet teaches me. Everyone I meet shows me a new thing. And I want to honor that. If you tell me you're not interested in this, that, and the other, then that's fine. I've said what I've said. I've gone over and over it again. Today's daily devotional is a little heavy, but I think what I'm trying to say is community is important. And community has unconditional love by the very facet of holding the capacity for each other. And in where family works is allowing everyone to grow. When family doesn't work, it's because that love has become conditional and full of all of the other things that hold it back. I have chosen that my biological family is stuck and they're not moving forward. And that's okay. I can still love them. I can love the person that gave birth to me, that was my biological incubator. I can love them, but I can also know that this life, I have nothing to do with them, and that's okay too. Because I have found my community one person at a time, one interaction, one connection over time. Sometimes they come in crowds and then they disappear, and then I'm left with just one. And sometimes they all go away and I'm alone again. That's okay too. But in my heart, I carry every single one of them. Every single one. Because my capacity, their gift to me, their giveaway of self, has helped heal my capacity so that I can hold all of that love. And I'm never going to be full. There's no filling it up. You can't fill it up. I had somebody tell me once, oh, I'm full. I'm to capacity. I have all the community I can handle. Oh, such a limiting mind. Open it up. Open the floodgates. Open the doors. That's what we give to each other. Okay, I keep talking. I'm going to stop now. Have a beautiful day, my friends. I love you, and I will see you in prayer. Blessed be.